Hey, Moneymakers, welcome to another episode of Taking Stock Live. I'm your host, Kalila Enriquez Reynolds, and as usual, we're bringing you all the latest business news and telling you how it will affect you and your money. So, tonight we've got some good stuff for you. We're going to be talking to two young entrepreneurs who are making waves in their industry. And also, it's election season in Guyana. Well, we know it's election season in Jamaica. They also have an election coming up on September 1. So we're going to be taking the temperature of things over there. But first, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and let me know in the chat where you're joining us from, what part of Jamaica or what part of the world. I love to see the international money makers tuning in. Now, here's a look at what's coming up in tonight's show, followed by what's hot in business. And come on, let's get this money. On this episode of Taking Stock, most people dream of turning their side hustle into a multi-million-dollar business. The team at Boardroom Furnishing have made that dream a reality. Founders Dhanyel Johnson and Edson join us. Then, the analysts weigh in on the latest market developments. How will Guyana's upcoming election affect the country's economic development? We'll discuss.
But first, here's What's Hot, brought to you by JMMB Group, your best interest at heart.
Mayberry Jamaican Equities is looking to raise $1 billion Jamaican dollars through two new bond offers. Tranche 1 is $500 million and has an 8.75% interest rate. It matures in 13 months, while Tranche 2 pays 9.25% interest and matures in 23 months. The minimum purchase is 20,000 Jamaican dollars or about 125 USD. The company says the bond will be used to refinance existing debt and expand its investment portfolio. The offer opens on August 21 and is expected to close on September 12. Regency Petroleum made $36 million in profit between April and June this year, its largest ever quarterly profit. The company's bottom line grew 36% compared to the same period the year before. The growth came despite an 11% dip in revenues, which they attributed to lower petroleum prices. RPL listed on the junior market of the Jamaica Stock Exchange in 2022 after raising over $280 million in an IPO. The company also said that construction has started on its first truck stop in St. Elizabeth, which will operate as a dealer-owned, dealer-operated station. Edutech company Edufocal has asked for a further extension to submit its year-end audited financials, which were due on March 1. According to a notice, Edufocal says its financials will be published by October 10. The company said the revised date is intended to avoid any further delays and missed deadlines. The company said its second quarter results, which were due on August 15, will be submitted on August 29. Edufocal has been suspended from trading since June. Some 500,000 passengers were left stranded over the weekend following a strike at Canada's largest airline. 10,000 Air Canada flight attendants walked off the job, demanding pay for uncompensated work performed before takeoff and after landing. In the North American aviation industry, flight attendants are typically only paid once cabin doors close. The Canadian Union of Public Employees estimated that Air Canada flight attendants perform about 35 hours of unpaid work each month. Flight attendants returned to work on Tuesday after reaching a tentative deal.
What's Hot was brought to you by JMMB Group, your best interest at heart.
If you're ready to level up your money, make sure you get a copy of my brand new Money Mission workbook. Get it at Fontana Pharmacy in Jamaica or worldwide on Amazon.com. Learn how to manage your money, manage your debt, and start investing to create wealth. Let's get this money. Welcome back. Let's see who we have joining us tonight. Big up Dwight from Spanish Town, who is still waiting to see Wysinka's results. We've got Dwight saying he's still waiting to see the market go bull again after such a long time. Aren't we all? Learn, Grow, Invest says the bulls are almost ready. Something we don't know, LGI? Warrell is checking in from Montego Bay. Raquel saying good night to the money makers. Michael is bigging up me from Harborview. Humble Boss saying good night and checking in from the grill. The Diplomat is straight out of ATL. The View 868 is in Trinidad and Tobago. Steed is in USA, so is Dwayne. Eon is saying good night from Toronto. Trivia is from Clarendon, living in Florida. However, I'll be coming back to vote, and I've already booked my ticket. Good stuff. And Learn, Grow, Invest sending a shout out to RPL Alanza is saying big up from Portmore. Keep those comments coming. Let me know what part of Jamaica or what part of the world you are joining us from. So, from time to time, we do our entrepreneur spotlight here on Taking Stock. And if you've ever tried buying custom furniture, you know that can be a task. Well, Boardroom Furnishing has been making custom waves, custom furniture for trying to make that. Gosh, where is my mouth this evening? Boardroom Furnishing has been making waves for trying to make that process easier. So here to talk more about the business, we have co-founders Dhanyel Johnson and Edson Hunt. So welcome to Taking Stock.
Hi.
Good to have you. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, awesome.
All right, so start out by telling us a little bit about yourselves and your backgrounds.
I'm Dhanyel Johnson.
Dhanyel.
Yes, Dhanyel. It's okay. People always call me Dhanyel. I went to college for biomedicine, so nothing that what we're doing right now. Edson studied business, which is great because he has really been the backbone in us getting things, sorted out in terms of business. But we actually started from a bad experience. So we had met, and we did a little bit of adulting and found out we were pregnant. We bought a house like during that same process, and finding out you're pregnant, buying a new house, you need furniture. We're both over 6 foot, so we had no choice but to get most things made.
Custom made.
Get them custom made.
That's right.
So we ordered what we thought we needed, and we were told 3 weeks. Yeah, we did think, we know the timeline was a little bit overzealous, but we said, okay, if him even take 3 months, we're still within our timeline because we ordered way in advance. We ordered that furniture for our daughter, which is turning 5, and we have yet to receive them.
Wow.
Back and forth to the shop and everything. We just decided that, hey, listen, and it was horrible too. I ended up having a horrible pregnancy because my stress over furniture, constant crying and anxiety, ended up having premature labor, a whole heap of something. And we were just like, listen, what can we do to make this difference? So we didn't want to come in and reinvent the wheel, but there were just some gaps that were missing in the industry that we were like, hey, listen, at 20 something years old, we can use our laptop, we can use social media, let's try to clean the market up. And that's exactly what we did.
Wow. So that order that you made was local? It was in Jamaica?
Yeah,
Yes.
man, local. Right near we could have actually, it never took me 5 minutes to get to where his workshop
And they
was.
just never got back to you? Or?
Never. Constant calling, constant threats.
Visits, not threats.
Visits. And nothing. It just never came. And after a while, you just give up because you say, listen, it's leading to nothing.
We basically took the moral high ground instead of getting our hands dirty. In a sense, we just said,
so it was threats. The story come out now.
yeah, but we just took the moral high ground and said, hey, let us start something of our own.
Yeah.
And reel in back the good rap or the good name for artisans that basically make furniture.
Yeah.
Because everybody in the industry has a bad stigma over their heads.
Yeah.
So we just took the opportunity to create modern and unique furnishing, and also to do it in a timely and a professional manner.
Yeah.
And you guys had paid a deposit and everything?
We did.
Yeah, deposit and everything.
Pardon me?
Did you get back your money?
Get back what?
Wow.
We didn't get back anything. And then at the time when we found out we were pregnant, I think Edson was still in college.
Yeah, I was finishing up. I think I
so
was in
we
my
were
final
young.
year.
We were young. I had graduated college a few years before. He was still in college. Just found out we were pregnant. Just bought a house. We had take time pay down for the 2 little appliances. Then we were buy. So it was a whole lot of things happening at the same time, and it was just a horrible experience.
So what experience did you have with furniture making? Because you studied, you said biomedicine.
Zero. None. No experience at all. We knew nothing about the market. We knew nothing about anything. We just wanted to say, hey, listen, like we had this experience. What can we do to make it different for others? And we really didn't do anything. We never reinvented the wheel, as we said. We just did what we didn't get. So somebody called and nobody picked up. We had a line that when somebody called, we pick up. When somebody texts, we get through to them. We give a paper trail. When you make a deposit, you get a receipt. It's not just yeah man, me give a man money. It's giving a receipt, having a paper trail, having an open line of communication. That's all we did. That was different.
Okay. So all right. So you started
Mm-hmm.
making your own furniture. What made you decide that, well, I'm going to do this for other people now?
So we actually didn't wait, how did we start with that part? Oh, we had a lot of other young friends at the time that were also
house hunting and
exactly.
so forth, yeah.
And so we were saying, like, listen, if we can, we got a builder and we were saying, like, listen, this guy is reliable. You can use him. But over time, he started becoming unreliable too. So whenever they weren't getting through to him, they would call me, Dhanyel, listen, I'm not get through to him and me need you for go. So I ended up now having to drive to where he was, check on if he was making the stuff, give them a progress update. And I'm like, wait, listen, if me I do this for free, I can actually make some money off this. And that's how we flipped it into a business.
Yes.
Your daughter is 5 now. So if we did a math,
almost.
We can say that you started around the time of the pandemic, 2020, COVID time. So COVID baby, I was right there with you.
Oh Lord, you know this
5 as well. But during that time, there were a lot of supply chain issues. You had lumber prices skyrocketing. So that whole industry was in turmoil. So how did you guys manage through that?
Well, we tapped a lot into the local market.
Yeah.
There are a lot of small, what do you call them? Like
lumber yards.
Yeah. That still had, they cut the tree from scratch. So they had most of the lumber already in stock. So when the borders were closed, when there were no shipping going on, we literally just procured material from all local people.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's how we combated that.
What challenges have you faced since then?
Trying to get reliable and skilled tradesmen.
Labor.
One.
Yeah.
Availability of machine. 2. And
some other challenges that we faced too, post COVID, when the world was opening back up, and local farmers started feeling so they're not getting the support as much anymore because the world is opening back up now. So we're procuring materials from overseas. They started, I don't know if you remember, there was reports of landslides happening because the trees were being cut green and stuff like that. So we started facing a lot of challenges locally because, you know, the strong cedar and mahogany and woods that are local to Jamaica, them start cut them young because they're now having to compete with an open border. And so the quality of the local material went down. That was a huge challenge for me. That actually was so sad for me because We pride ourselves on using local quality materials. And when we realized that, listen, it just not cutting it anymore, we had to go overseas. That was really heartbreaking for me. The market is leveling out now, which we are getting more quality local materials. But during that time, that was a huge challenge for us because we really didn't like using the overseas material as much as we liked using the local ones.
So let's take a look at some of the furniture that you have made. I know we have some video. So walk us through it. Talk us through what we're seeing.
This is a bedroom set. This was made completely of cedar. I am so proud of this set. If you ever see where the wood is coming from to where the guys get it, I might have to do a walkthrough one of the days to see where it's coming from, to see where they get it. The craftsmanship we have locally is just so, I don't know, I know, maybe biased because I'm Jamaican, but I don't think nobody do it better than we. The craftsmanship we have, the talent that we have is just flawless. Look at that, like straight from a store. Look at that.
Yeah, very nice.
Everything we do is handmade, fully handmade from start to finish.
And this is not compressed wood. This is wood.
No, this is real wood. This is wood cut from a tree. You rub it down, you treat it, you sand it, you make it with hand, you spray it. Real wood. This is cedar too, don't it? Yeah.
Cedar.
This is cedar as well.
So this is not them furniture that you set down some water on it and
bagasport. We have since lately though, as you know, obviously as technology evolves and advances, there have been some waves in our industry where they are making MDF. I don't remember what it stands for right now.
If I can check it.
I think it's something under the density fiberboard. But what they're doing now, which is great for our local market, it is actually termite resistant and water resistant.
Yeah, termite and moisture
resistant. So it's made from wood shavings or something like that them use. I don't remember how it is made exactly. I should have probably gotten a little bit more knowledge on that, but it's new and it's water resistant, and we have been experimenting with it and we've gotten good results so far, but we use it along with real wood. We don't use it by itself because you don't have area
that you've done that we saw in the videos just now. Very, very nice.
Yes.
What are the prices like?
So I don't think they're out of reach. I think our prices are very competitive, especially given the fact that we use real wood. You can get a dresser for under 100,000. Likewise, a chest. You can get a bed starting at 100 and something thousand, leading up to 250. Just depends on the style and the complexity.
Yeah.
But I think compared to where the market is, and for the quality that you're getting there versus to the quality that you're getting from us, I think our prices are very competitive. Our social media too is very, very detailed. In all of our captions, we list the cost, we list the type of wood that we use, we list the dimensions of that piece, we list the color, the sheen, if it is high sheen, low sheen. We give every single detail in our captions, just in case you go on our social media and you say, I want exactly that. You don't have to question the size. You don't have to.
People will still DM you and ask you how much. They'll still ask you, people will still DM you and ask you how much.
People comment under the price and ask the price.
Yep.
All the time.
Every day.
Those prices are pretty reasonable, especially given that this is custom furniture and
it's real wood. Yeah.
It's not bad at all, because I've been furniture shopping fairly recently. I see what things cost, and
yes, and they're
right there being competitive. So okay, so you said custom made, so you only do orders?
Yeah, so right now we
are looking to
we're in the process of opening a storefront. It's a small showroom, because we do have clients that they don't want to wait, and that's just where things are now. Things are fast, and it's either you get with the time or you get rolled over. So we are opening a small showroom. We're looking to expand, but we're starting small now just to test the market. I don't think we'll do bad. I think we'll do pretty well. Because we do have a good clientele right now as it is.
We have some staple orders that,
Yeah.
and
we have some go-to pieces that people, if you look on our social media, you see where we replicate a lot of the IKEA stuff, because we find that people are looking for more minimal furniture now.
Modern and contemporary, more straight lines instead of the carvings and deeper curves and so forth.
So we do those pieces. People come to us for those a lot. And so just to have a space where somebody can come in and grab one of them and go, we're looking to offer those types of pieces.
So what's the turnaround time on your custom orders?
So it depends, but our standard turnaround time is 6 to 8 weeks. Okay. So as I say, and I always like to tell my clients, it can be shorter depending on what you order. But
and we're in the line you fall.
And that too. Mm-hmm. But if it is custom, you do have to expect some wait, because it sometimes it takes us some time to procure your materials, because you might want something made with oak and we don't have oak readily available. We have to go source it. And so it does take us some time to procure. 6 to 8 weeks is our standard, though. If it is that we see where we're finishing before or after, we usually communicate that with you. And just to ensure that we keep you in the loop. We do with all of this sometimes, but we always try to ensure we keep you in the loop.
And with all of this, by the way, you guys still have full-time 9-to-5 jobs. This is still
time. And a COVID baby. Remember, said them the normal, you know. Yes. Yeah. So we do still have full-time jobs.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I have a few questions. Ryan says, I love the Chester draw.
Yay.
You deliver to Mandeville.
Yes, we do deliver island-wide.
Island-wide. And that was the next question. Worrell wanted to know if you provide furniture island-wide.
Yes, we do.
Humble says, love how they know the business they are doing. Love how they know the business they are doing. Always hands-on and up-to-date.
We have to be.
And Humble also wants to know, what's your TikTok or IG handle?
So our Instagram is Boardroom Furnishing. Not super hard to find. We don't have a TikTok. A lot of people have been sending us TikToks though. So if you see a TikTok, it's fake. Not us. Yeah, we don't have a TikTok. We only have Instagram. And we do almost 99% of our business through our order form and email. So if somebody... No, and you can DM us too, or you can send us a chat on our WhatsApp. But once we get into official business, your invoices, your receipts, all other business transaction is usually sent via email. So please, if you guys out there are watching, a lot of people try to...
I'm raising my hand. And all deposits are made to a business account in the business name, not a personal account. So please be mindful.
Sometimes people call and say, I'm on my way to the Portland branch. Which part of the day again?
Only one branch.
One branch. So please, guys, just be vigilant when you're ordering stuff online. Do your checks and balances. We have a lot of caution signs on our Instagram too. So if you come to our site, if you come to our Instagram, you'll know it's us. We don't have a backup page. We don't have a TikTok.
So people are scamming you guys. They are impersonating
all the time. Constantly. We even see people with our logo.
There's a logo. There's a copy of our logo in Trelawney.
Yeah. People scam us all the time. Say they're coming. They're the backup page of Boardroom Furnishing. You can order here, telling people that we have branches island-wide. They can come by and shop. People,
oh my goodness. And people are calling for it and sending those scammers money.
Yes, so the copycats that are in Trelawney, they are going by the name Boardroom. So it seems as if it is Boardroom, but it is Boardroom.
Yeah.
Furnishing.
Same logo, same color, same everything.
It's just that they shuffle the R.
Yeah, so it's easy to catch people, and they're very clever.
Very.
Oh wow. Learn, Grow, Invest has some advice for you. They say keep your expenses low if you can.
Always.
Also, if the storefront doesn't increase revenues, it might not be needed.
Yeah.
And the next thing that they say is, well, maybe they're a potential customer. I need a podcast setup. Do you do that type of furniture as well?
So podcast furniture would be like couch and stuff. We can talk. We definitely can talk about that.
Okay, next
But
question.
thank you so much for the advice. That was really, really good, actually. Because we're dabbling into a market that we, I mean, we're young. No, we can't turn down any advice right now. It's either it work or it don't work. So thank you so much for that.
Next question comes from Dwayne. Where do you source your white oak wood from?
Tranquil.
Or they think I have white oak too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Or there's a local lumber yard close to our workshop.
Yeah, in
that
Spanish
normally
Town.
gets supply from Portland.
Yeah.
Natoya wants to know, where's the comment? Would you partner with a company that already has a storefront?
No, we're trying to be that company.
And it's not that we have an issue with it, but it's
counterproductive.
Yeah, and then here are the thing to Lati or Natalia, sorry. If it is that we decide that, listen, hey, our labor force is focusing on getting out all of our custom orders, because we close off on October 1st every year because of the volume of orders that we have. I will try to close off at October 1st so we can get orders out for Christmas.
Yeah.
We are assuming that you would want your store to be stocked for Christmas as well. And if our labor force is spent up doing our orders, we might not be able to fulfill yours. So it kind of risky to partner with somebody else that depends on our supply chain or labor force as well.
Okay. All right. I see. Philip says the one and only question, when IPO?
Selling the Carolina furniture.
And well, Learn Go Invest is saying micro market is ready for you. So the JSE is working on a micro stock exchange, and they're saying this could be a good fit. Is it something that you've considered?
That's more Edson's department. Can we think about it and then let you guys know?
I'll crunch the numbers and look and see if it is feasible.
Well, Trivia has a question. Would you consider taking on investors?
Maybe the same, just like the IPO.
Oh, you say you think it would be the same? Maybe something we haven't considered it, honestly. Pardon?
That would be pre-IPO, so somebody can give some money now to help you prepare for a potential IPO.
So the thing is, I'm not opposed to it. I don't think I have enough knowledge to say yes or no. My issue is the labor force we have locally. When you're doing anything that relies heavily on a human labor force,
the hardest resource to manage.
Yeah, it's hard to say, yeah, let's take on an investor and then 3 of your staff sick or don't come work or
one of them die.
Or even that too, because we've lost team members already to death. So it's a hard.
Not on the job though.
Yeah, it's not like we're not opposed to it, but it's something that you'd really have to sit and think about, especially as I say, where your main source of labor are humans.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the challenges.
Yeah.
I saw Ryan saying your labor force needs to expand during high demand. Maybe it's time to team up with Heart NTA.
We would love to do that, but there's little to furniture building is a dying skill.
Yeah, the interest isn't there anymore because we've taken on people from Heart that Heart has certified them furniture builders, as in been through the program levels 1, 2, 3, certificate, graduation, everything. And when they come to the shop, they
can't manage the work environment.
They don't even know the machines.
And
they don't know how to put the pieces together. So we basically having to be teaching them from scratch. So maybe we can put some marketing behind it and show them that young people are actively involved in furniture making, and maybe that's how we can partner with them to get more people involved. But as for now, almost every year or so we check in with Heart, a location has shut down its furniture making course. So we have tried.
Wow. Yeah, so it's real. The challenges are there, but I'm also happy to see the success that you've made so far for yourselves and the progress you've made, the plans to open the storefront. It's exciting times ahead for Boardroom Furnishing. And guess what? The fact that you are being copied and impersonated on social media means you made it. You're boss.
We're doing something good or something admirable.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. So let me leave you with an opportunity to share your contact information. How can people get in touch with you? How can they order?
Sure. You can find us on Instagram at Boardroom Furnishing. Our telephone number is 876
386.
1829. And our social media has all of our contact details, email address, or order forms. As I said, every single caption has every single detail it is that you might need to know about that order. We're always open to chat. You can WhatsApp us. We have a good customer service line. People do tend to get through pretty easily. And if it is not, you can just, call and rough we up a little bit and we definitely will tend to you.
No threats, though.
No, no. Angel! That's my cousin!
Oh, leaving a testimonial. Angel says, I have a few pieces and they are really top tier.
Yes.
So we will look out for you on social media. We know where to put in our orders. And guys, put in your orders before October 1.
Yes, please, because we're closing off October 1st. We close off October 1st every year. People always big us up on social media for that, saying they really like the honesty and transparency in our business model, because we do try to ensure that everybody gets their pieces for Christmas. If it is that you missed the cutoff time, we usually have a wait list, and then we usually try to give you a discount if it is that for whatever reason we didn't make the cut to give it to you in December. We like to have a Christmas in January, so you still get the Christmas discount if it is that we missed the December deadline.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. All right. Thanks again.
Thank you.
We'll be looking forward to hearing more from Boardroom Furnishings. Yes. All right. So let's go into tonight's poll question. As we know, it is election season, aka silly season in Jamaica. And by the way, so the debates are coming up. The budget debate, sorry, I'm so used to saying budget debates. The political debates are coming up next week. There are going to be 3 debates. There's going to be a leadership debate, a debate on finance, and also a debate on social issues. I think the social issues is first, then the finance, and then the leadership. And yes, I was invited to be one of the presenters, one of the questioners on the finance debate. However, I'm not going to be back in time to make it. This is what happens when you don't have a fixed election date. You can't really plan around these things. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to be one of the questioners at the political debates this year on finance, because that one is going to be the 26th of August. I get back on the 29th. So unfortunately, I won't be able to make it. But the 26th, I think, is a Tuesday. We have taking thought that night anyway. So we'll be here watching, commenting, and so on. Now it's time for your poll question. Has your quality of life improved over the past 10 years? And yes, this is somewhat a political question, since that is roughly the period of time that the JLP has been in power. Well, 2016 to 2025, so 9-10 years. Has your quality of life improved over the past 10 years? Here are your options. A, yes, it has. B, no, it's gotten worse. C, it's about the same. Or other, leave a comment. I want to know, has your quality of life improved over the past 10 years? Let me know in the comments, or you can take our poll over on YouTube, the community tab, on X, or on where else? Email tomorrow morning. Subscribe to the email at getmoneynews.com. Up next, we've got your market recap, and the analysts are standing by. Market Recap is brought to you by MyMoneyJA, the official data partner of Money Media. Get 10% off your subscription with the code MONEYMISSION. The JSE Combined Index gained 5,500 points last week, or about 2%. 123 stocks traded across the main and junior markets for the week ending Friday, August 15, 2025. 54 made gains, 55 lost value, and 14 stayed the same. 107 million shares changed hands on the Jamaican dollar market, valued at $607 million. TransJam was the week's most traded stock, with 50 million shares changing hands. It started the week at $3.68. Sagicor Select Funds Financial traded the second most shares. It opened Monday at 40 cents, down 11%. And Wigton rounded out last week's most traded stocks. Now let's see who had the biggest gains. NCBFG was the JSE's top stock, up 34% to open the week at $41.08. Indies Pharma was the week's second biggest gainer, up 17.5%, and PBS Perpetual Cumulative USD rounded out the top stocks, up 15%. On the losing side now, KLE Group lost 21% to start the new week at 86 cents. Margaritaville Turks fell 15% to open Monday at $9.28, and Mayberry Jamaican Equities fell 14.5%. Over on the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange, the composite index was up 12 points last week. That's 1%. Massey was the TTSE's most traded stock. It opened Monday at $3.85 TT. Ansa Macau was the TTSE's top gainer, up 11%. And on the losing side, One Caribbean Media fell 12% to open Monday at $2.19 TT. Over in the U.S., the Dow Jones gained about 2% last week, while the S&P 500 and NASDAQ were up 1%. At the pumps, the cost of 87 gas fell $1.72, while 90 was down $1.71. Diesel prices dropped $3.06. In foreign exchange trading, it took an average $161.38 Jamaican to purchase $1 last Friday. That's 12 cents more than the week before. One Canadian dollar cost an average $118.72 Jamaican. One British pound cost $218.52 Jamaican, and you could buy €1 for $190.59 Jamaican on average. Finally, on the crypto markets, Bitcoin prices fell 6.5% over the past 5 days, trading at $115,321 on Monday. Meanwhile, Ethereum dipped 9%, trading at $4,301 on Monday. Market Recap was brought to you by MyMoneyJA, the official data partner of Money Media.
Subscribe to my newsletter for money news like this straight to your inbox. Go to getmoneynews.com to sign up. The link is in my bio. Let's get this money.
The views expressed in this segment are not necessarily the views of Money Media. This information is for educational purposes only and is not intended as financial advice. Please consult a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Welcome back. Let's take some of the comments. So Raquel says, reliable craftsman in Jamaica, it's a dream. Learn, Grow, Invest was asking if they filed a trademark. Even if they did, that doesn't stop the scammers. It does not stop them at all. Turning to the poll question, which was, what is your quality of life, Hoigo? Has your quality of life improved over the last 10 years? Raquel says C, which is it's about the same. I'm also seeing Nad saying it's about the same. Natoya saying it's about the same. Fire Economics says, interesting business regarding our guest earlier. Orville says his quality of life has gotten worse. Ryan commenting on the guest as well. Maybe they could team up with JFP Limited to boost production like True Juice and with Cinco. Trivia says investors that are willing to invest at tools and machines to expand products. So that could work. Different type of partnership. Learn, Grow, Invest says you'll have to train your people yourself to meet your own standards. And commenting on Market Recap just now, NCBFG shareholders must be happy this week, seeing they're back up over 40 as of the time of that recording. Dina K says, yes, as a teacher, JLP gave us an increase where I can say it's not the best, but better than what we would have received under the previous administration. Let's see. I think there was trivia was asking about the debates coming up. What are your thoughts on PMP saying they would withdraw if NNN journalists are involved? It goes the other way too. So JLP also said they would withdraw if certain RGR journalists were involved. Petty on both sides, I would say. Both sides. All the journalists listed are stellar journalists: Deion Jackson Miller, George Davis, Tana Thomas, Ricardo Brooks. I think Jebinson was one of them as well, and they're objecting to them. I mean, these are long-standing, long-practicing journalists. But anyway, as we say, it is silly season, I don't know if that's what they call it in Guyana too, but Guyana is also heading to the polls in just a few days, gearing up for their general election. So here to discuss is business analyst Uni Abdul. Welcome back, Uni.
Hi, Kalila.
Okay, so give us the update. What is it looking like on the ground? What are things usually like in Guyana leading up to an election?
First of all, I must congratulate you on crossing. I think you now have 200,000 followers on TikTok, 115 on Instagram. That's amazing numbers since I last checked. So congrats on that. Doing well. I must say, we use the same term here in Guyana, right? Silly season. It's a time of heightened tension. There's a lot of conflict between different interest groups, ethnic groups, different types of people. Social media has just amplified that. There's so much misinformation floating around on the part of all political parties and their operatives. All right, so the voting electorate really has a lot of work to do to sift through, to eliminate bias, to really see how they're going to make their decision on E-Day. All right. The security situation is one that we have to look out for, as you would have. I don't know if you probably got wind, right? Earlier in the year, there was an unfortunate event that led to a massive security breakdown in the nation. But a lot of people are saying that was a practice run for the Guyana police force because it was contained within 24 hours.
That was the situation at the young girl who was
Yeah,
killed and the
yeah,
resulting civil unrest.
yeah. Well, was found dead. We still don't know what was the outcome of that investigation, at least what I know. Right, but unfortunately, Guyana has always been marred with electoral violence. Not so much leading up to, but upon the announcement of results. All right, and this is not only cast on one group of voters, right? Both sides and major political parties have been involved in violent activities, but I think the government has really worked in the last 5 years to boost the the targeting of that post-electoral violence. All right. Well, enough on that part, but we now have, I think, 6 parties on the ballot. All right. You have the PPP, you have we have 3 new entrants, the WIN, ALP, and Ford Guyana movement. Interestingly enough, Kalila, do you remember there was a party by the name of APNU AFC, the coalition that had
I remember, yes.
right? They actually ended up splitting now for this election, so they're not together anymore. Interestingly enough,
So they're running as separate
yeah,
tickets.
yeah.
So 6 parties. Are they all major contenders, or you have
So you have the legacy guys like the PPP. You have the Alliance for Change, the APNU. So you have 3 legacy parties basically, and 3 new ones, right? The Assembly of Liberty and Prosperity, the Ford Guyana movement. So those 2 parties, the ALP and FGM, they're actually headed by former APNU AFC members, right? If I remember, Amanda Walton this year is with the Ford Guyana movement, and a next lady, she's with the ALP, right? And they emanated from the APNU AFC. So there's and then the coalition broke down. So as you can see, there's a lot of fracturing in that camp, right? They're now existing in four entities on the ballot, right? So therefore, that leaves the other contenders, the PPP and WIN, headed by Mr. Azruddin Mohammed, right, who's a very famous social media personality who's decided to throw his hat in the ring for politics. And then, of course, you have the PPP, which I think the Caribbean is familiar with at this point as well.
They're the ones in government, so that's the
Who are the
party
incumbents,
by the
correct.
current president Irfan Ali.
Correct. I don't want to get into the weeds, right? Guyana has to make their decision on the 1st of September, the same way Jamaica will make their decision on the 3rd. Just a mere 2 days after. And wherever the dice land, it will land. But you and I, Kalila, we're interested in business, right? And I think the business community as well. They're looking to see, businesses thrive on predictability and continuity. All right. So whichever party is in power post-election, they're going to be looking at what regimes will be fixed, if there's any improvements, if there's anything that will drastically change, because this could affect Guyana's investment profile, right?
Mhm.
You know, part of investment is the assessment of political risk. You know,
Very
the other
true.
major aspect is the oil and gas industry, which is very nascent and burgeoning. All right, a lot of parties have been speaking about renegotiation and this and that, and but I think, to be honest, it's a lot of hot air. There are many other factors at play that are working to keep contracts in place, right? So we can expect some continuity in the oil and gas. You know, I think that will be a relatively undisturbed industry, despite whichever party remains in power. So, you know, basically, we're just looking at the security situation, the continuity and predictability of business post September 1st. One other thing I'd like to mention, GCOM, which is the electoral agency of Guyana. Um, if you remember, in 5 years ago, we had a massive electoral crisis, right?
Yeah, it took you months before you were finally able to determine who actually won the election. And
5.5 months thereabout, right? So the government and some other stakeholder bodies, locally and internationally, have really bolstered and strengthened the electoral laws. I think, in fact, there's something in the law that says within 3 hours, all statement of poll, that is the results for each polling station, have to be uploaded to the GCOM website within 3 hours, right? Um, the Carter Center. We have a lot of international observers here, like the Carter Center. All right. So after what took place in 2020, no, people don't have two eyes no more. They have four, right? And six if they got glasses. All right. So everybody gonna be looking tight at this election. So hopefully no weird stuff happened like the last time.
well, what is the temperature on the ground? We have six parties contending.
Right.
Is the ruling party popular? Are they expected to win?
Well, I think, I mean, not, I don't want to be biased, but I think generally the sentiment is that the PPP will be back in the seat of executive government. However, people are a little tossed up in terms of what the parliamentary seat allocation will be, because the PPP has to be careful they don't find themselves in a position like in 2011, I believe, when the PPP was in government, but they were a minority government, meaning they did not have the majority in parliament. And we had situations where
Remember that because you have multiple parties, so it's not like Jamaica where it's just two parties.
right,
Naturally, the majority will form the government. When you have
right.
multiple parties in the parliament, you won't necessarily have a majority, and then that makes it difficult for them to pass legislation.
Yeah, we had a situation in 2011, 2012, where $1 budgets were being passed for agencies, right? Because so you can imagine. But I mean, the PPP camp is saying, oh, it's going to be a landslide victory. Then you have the opposition camp is saying, no, we're going to make PPP a minority government. And then there's some extreme that's saying, oh, PPP will be out of office. So really, who can tell, right?
What are some of the major campaign issues, especially on the business front?
On the business front, one thing I can say that the PPP is doing a 0%, a zero interest rate development bank, and they are going to act as a guarantor on the loans through that bank, right?
Ooh.
So that's a new thing that's coming up, right? With regards to business, I think as well, most of the parties in their manifestos have promised to maintain uh, a tax regime where there are not much increases, right? And also some parties, for example, the PPP, they have said that they will look to reduce corporate taxes and income tax as well. Um, I want to just say this, right? There's an ideology here. First of all, before I even say that, each party releases a manifesto. Out of the six parties, five have released manifestos in varying amounts of detail. All right. So, one of the more detailed ones was released yesterday by the PPP. The APNU has released one as well. The FGM has released one. And they speak about different approaches to business and other aspects, right? why I'm saying this is because the development ideology for each party differs. For example, the PPP, they're putting heavy focus on infrastructure. The PPP, and I think the AFC as well, believes that if you invest in infrastructure like the ports, the airports, seaports, bridges, roads, security, all these things, that will then open up lands for investment, housing schemes, commercial zones, industrial zones. That will bring about jobs, boost interconnectivity, and that will help to pace the rise of the nation along with the oil input revenues and these kind of things. So the PPP has I'm circling to a point here. PPP has received a lot of criticism from the opposing party for that ideology because they're saying something like, oh, people can't eat roads, right? They can't eat the road. PPP is investing in a road. If you come to Guyana, you'll see, right? It's not the same as it was 7 years ago, right? There are roads where bushes used to be, major highways where bushes used to be. And the criticism that the opposition is saying that, oh, well, we can't eat the roads. And that brings me to my second point. A lot of the other parties have said, well, how are we going to use the oil revenue? Because remember, Guyana issued a cash grant last year, 100,000, which is around 500 US. So a lot of parties are saying they're going to boost that, some as high as 2,000 US per person. Right? So there's an ideology where they want to pin the development on infrastructure, and some just straight up want to say, let's take the revenue from oil and hand it
give it
over
away.
to people.
And literally give it away.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you can get the same grant if you have a Guyanese baby, such as viewers
Oh yeah,
know.
yeah. You can get 100,000. Every newborn gets 100,000 now.
Get some money, have a baby by me, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, you in tune with things, Kalila.
I tell you, yeah. So a lot is going on there, and to me personally, it's exciting to watch all of the developments that are taking place in Guyana. I keep following it. There's a few TikTok
You
pages
you
that I
you
follow.
you watching me, and I watching you. I seen
Yeah.
what Andrew Holness is saying. He has a good media campaign. Some of the other guys, I see Lisa Hanna has a good.
Retired.
Yes. I look into it, Jamaica.
So we have a question from somebody, one of our viewers. What are the major details of the manifestos? I think you kind of started going over that. And so let me ask the second half of the question then. What's your view on the high tariff that was imposed in Guyana and the subsequent reductions from 38% to 15% by the US government?
Right. Yeah, that's an excellent question. So, I think in the trade office somewhere in the US, when President Donald Trump was coming up with these tariffs for all the countries, they were looking at trade imbalances, right? And I think the reason peddled here is that Guyana has a trade imbalance because of the massive export of oil towards the United States. So that was something that that had to be corrected, and I think that's why there was a subsequent reduction. All right. And then you got to look at the other aspect, right? Guyana will never be able to outbuy the US, right? So those are the reasons why there were subsequent revisions and so I think it has to do with the oil exports in part. All right. And I think a lot of countries, not only Guyana, a lot of countries have had those tariffs revised downwards. All right. Once they've had their bilateral engagements with with their respective trade offices and and so forth.
What is the position there on renewable energy? Because I asked this question in the context of Trinidad's situation right now, having become a mature oil exporter, and so now, and also relying 80% of their exports are from oil. 40% of their total budget is oil revenue, and Guyana is now at that point where you're becoming an economy that's heavily reliant on oil. What's the position on channeling some of that money into renewable energy? Because Trinidad, what they do is they subsidize that sector. They subsidize electricity and subsidize transportation as well. Is that the direction that Guyana is taking too?
Well, Guyana, because of the nature of our geography, Guyana is almost the size of England. All right. And our electricity grid historically has not been as expansive or stable. So now, we've had a culture, our energy culture has been one where from the time solar was, mainstream, we've invested in that, right? In the hinterland areas, deep in the jungle, we've always had, small scale utilization of solar. But I think in the last 5 or 6 years, we have been pushing for like things like solar farms. So there are a few solar farms in like the Borbis region, and in some hinterland areas. I think they also are going. I think at some point in the last 2 or 3 years, I heard something about a massive wind farm out on the Borbis coast. So those are some of the alternative energy push, items that they're having. But I don't think we are on a state where we're going to convert our economy massively over to alternative energy sources anytime soon, because one of the things that this current government, and I suppose the other parties have in their manifesto, they want to convert Guyana into a manufacturing hub. So for that, you need massive amounts of energy, right? We have a gas to shore project that they're trying to build out, where we're actually right now Guyana's gas, the gas from the wells, they re-inject it to pressurize the wells to get the oil out. Some of it ends up actually being flared as well, which of course is not good for the environment. So we have massive natural gas deposits, right? And they want to funnel some of that onshore onto a gas to energy site in Wales, right over the Demerara River. And we right now our electricity generation in Guyana is around 200 megawatts. All right, and we're teetering at the brink of the balance of consumption and supply. So we want to push that up to 600 megawatts with the gas to energy project,
Wow.
right? Which will triple our availability, which will then lend itself to the use for manufacturing purposes.
I
So
saw I saw
yeah.
that the government has launched a campaign to try to bring Guyanese in the diaspora back
Mhm.
home, given
Yeah.
that Guyana is one of the countries that suffers from one of the highest levels of brain drain. You want to bring those people back home. Has it been working? Are people coming back home? Have you noticed that?
I actually have a very personal statement to make on that, and I think Kalila, you know a bit about my history here in this particular field, right? I was working in Grenada for 4 years, and then I ended up going to the UK in 2022, and I was there up to 2023, and I made the decision to come back on my own, not through any government intervention or anybody from the government reaching out to me and say, "Hey, you need to come back." I just made a decision because I felt Guyana was the right place to be. And this has nothing to do with politics, right? No matter which party is in power, I believe that Guyana's trajectory, with the oil and gas, the amount of revenues is just insurmountable, that the upward trajectory is inevitable. So I made a decision to come back. With that being said, a lot of other people are making the decision to come back on their own as well, because they're seeing it, right? Um, they're seeing some of they're thinking about the oil and Guyana's future trajectory, and they're having a 10-year outlook. That aside, the government as well they have a diaspora unit within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They do outreaches in Toronto, London, New York, Miami, wherever the Guyana diaspora is. They try to go there. In fact, I think we've had a few job fairs where the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I think, would have gone to Port of Spain, Bridgetown, and these kind of places to liaise with the Guyanese diaspora to see if they can get them to come back. So there's government efforts there as well to get
I
people to
think
train.
it's a huge opportunity not only for Guyanese nationals unit, but also for CARICOM nationals,
Hmm.
given freedom of movement throughout the
Yeah,
region,
yeah,
labor, because there are so many job opportunities that are about to open up. They say you can't eat the road, you can't eat this and that, but it does provide job opportunities. You guys are,
right, right.
I think it's 9 hospitals supposed to be
12 hospitals,
12
job
hospitals.
and business opportunities as well.
And when I
So
think 12 hospitals are being built, who's going to work in all of these hospitals? You're going to
right,
end up
right.
having to import some labor, because how long does it take to train a doctor or a
Well,
nurse?
here's the thing. Guyana has been producing nurses, and unfortunately, a lot of them would have been leaving for places like the UK. All right. But the president actually went on air, I think 2 or 3 days ago, and he was saying those very same nurses that left, they're gonna come back when
Mhm.
because the salaries are gonna increase.
Even
So who knows? Let's see how that plays
even
out.
even low skill labor, maintenance
Yeah,
workers,
yeah.
there's going to be multiple levels of job
Mhm.
opportunities that are going to be opening up very soon, with hospitals opening, schools opening. You're going to need more educators, all of these projects that are taking place. So definitely one to watch. I hope to be able to meet you in Guyana soon, Uni.
You're coming here at some point?
At some point, I've been talking about it for the past probably 2 years. I
You
can't
have my number.
I
I'm
can't
gonna show you
remember.
all around.
Eventually I will. We're gonna make it happen, and
Great.
we'll talk. So thanks for joining us. That was a good perspective, and we'll check in again after the election results.
Excellent, Kalila. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Uni. We'll take our final break and come back with your comments.
12 months. That's all it takes to transform your finances with Money Mission Premium. For the next year, I'll guide you on the process to take your finances to the next level. You'll get my premium courses, monthly mentorship, and a great community of peers to help you on your journey. Go to moneymissionja.com. Let's get this money.
Let's get this money.
Welcome back. Let's take the final comments. Learn Grow says Uni looks richer than the last time we saw him. Good one. Who else do we have? Raquel says the parties not bad, meaning 6 political parties in Guyana. I wonder if we will ever get past the 2 parties here in Jamaica. Nigel wanted to know if there was any campaign news about opening up the Guyanese stock market via more listings. I didn't see that one in time, so I didn't get a chance to ask Uni. Learn Grow says taking stock live from Guyana. Yeah, coming soon. Working on it. Shell says it's weird that Guyana has less than 1 million people. What are they doing with all that land? It's not weird. I guess because I come from a country that has less than 500,000 people. And we have a lot of space too. So similar to Guyana, we have twice as big as Jamaica, with a population much, much smaller. So I guess to you it's weird because that's your experience. To me, it's not so weird. It just is. We have space, we have land. Who else? It said loyalty to our 2 main parties are very deep here. Yes. But when money is involved, billions of oil money, the new parties are going to form because people want to be the ones in charge of who gets to allocate those funds. Allocate those funds. Get my drift. Same issue Jamaica has. Yep. All right. So thank you so much for tuning in yet another week. It was a great discussion on both fronts. It was my pleasure hearing from Boardroom Furnishings. Check them out on Instagram and don't fall for the scammers and the fakers who are impersonating them. Get the real thing. I love that they use real wood, and put your orders in before October 1. I'm not getting any commission. I just want to see them succeed. And then, of course, tune in to what's going on in the region. We have Jamaica elections coming up September 3, Guyana elections coming up September 1. A lot of developments in both countries. Now, make sure that you like up the video, guys. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video with a friend. Let them know that Taking Stock is live and that we are the place to discuss business in Jamaica and the Caribbean. Follow me all over social media at kalila.money, and you can also follow at moneymediaja on Instagram. We are verified, so look out for the verified pages so that you don't fall victim to the scammers as well. Now tell a friend that Taking Stock. Tell a friend about Taking Stock, because investing is the new sexy. So let's make it cool to talk about money. Thanks to our hardworking production team, and thanks to you for watching. See you again next week.